in the rain on my electric bike, the Trek Elant Plus 8S. It's incredibly windy. I don't have my headphones in, so I hope the audio's still okay. Oh, had a tough day. No one cares about your day. Let's just get into it. Here's what I was thinking about news topic-wise today. The Democrats, they believe in global warming, right? They believe that we have to save the planet, right? Here's something I want you to look up. See if I'm right. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I remember it this way, though. Joe Biden, late in his administration, he put a tariff on Chinese solar panels. If I remember correctly, I think 100% tariff. Because the Chinese are so efficient at making solar panels that they can make them incredibly cheap. And Americans cannot compete with how cheap they can make solar panels. Now you'd think if they believe global warming is real, you'd think they would want as many people as possible crossing the highway. We're good. As many people as possible. Ooh, there's a cop. Hope he don't pull me over. Many people as possible to have solar panels. Evidently not. Joe Biden, the Democrat, put 100% tariff on solar panels. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're like me, but I have dreams. Frontier dreams. Homesteading dreams, Jeffersonian socialist dreams, having my own little spot out in the woods. And solar panels would be a part of it because you wouldn't have to rely on the grid. You wouldn't have to rely on somebody else for power. The idea of harnessing technology to become more independent, that really appeals to me as an American. And the hypocrisy of Joe Biden and the Democratic Party to make that twice as expensive for me for no good reason is inexcusable. It's good to see you, Mr. Wonderful. Thanks for stopping by. Comrades indeed. Always good to see you, man. So this occurred to me today because I believe, was it Alistair McLeod, maybe, was on a mining channel and they were talking. He reminded me about that tariff on Chinese solar panels. And he brought up the Venezuelan oil thing and how they're keeping the, hey everybody, ton of people stopping by. How they're keeping the solar panels out of reach of everyday Americans, trying to tariff them out of everyone's hands, but especially Americans. They do not want their own people, the American people. Man, it is windy today. Almost like blowing you over on the bike. They don't want their own people to have access to solar panels. So they want to keep us dependent on oil. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but it made a lot of things make sense to me when I learned this. Do you know who set up the CIA? I often think of the Dulles brothers set up the CIA. Do you know what their law firm did? Who it worked for? It worked for oil banks. So the CIA was set up as a mechanism to protect oil profits, which makes sense looking into their history. What was their first real official coup? It was Iran. I believe it was 1953 off the top of my head. Overthrew, was it Mossadegh? He was going to nationalize Iranian oil, which was owned by the British at the time. I think it was actually the company. It's like, you can look up the old pictures. It's just sort of amazing to see. Almost like when you see like a colored water fountain sign. It's sort of, wow, that really happened. I think it just the company was called like British Anglo Oil, if I remember correctly. It was right there in the middle of the Iranian desert. So that's who set them up, and that's who is doing the Venezuelan thing too. It's all about making us dependent on oil, corralling the banking interests. I haven't quite got the exact details on this, but I pretty much heard behind the scenes that Trump told the Venezuelans something like, we'll let you have access to your oil profits as long as you do it in the American dollar. Where have I heard this before, right? It's all about control. The Chinese are using technology not as weapons of imperialism, but as a way to make manufacturing more efficient, make people more self-sufficient, and that's breaking the power of the petrodollar. And that's worth going to World War III over, evidently. So, that's what I see behind the scenes. Got some good comments here, I love that. That's amazing. I had 29 people, and I know, I think it likes the mobile format more. Or I don't know, maybe it's interesting that I'm on a bicycle. I don't know, could kill myself at any time. It's exciting to watch. People tune in. It's how you build a following. You stay right on the razor's edge of living. People are like, I'm gonna keep watching this. This could go tragically wrong at any time. Anyway, I think we made it back here at the four-way where everybody stares at us. Ooh. Chinese tech, so beautiful. Yes, people unite. Do you believe the God? Do I believe the God? I think you mean, do I believe in God? I do believe in God. Life's too crazy for there not to be a God. Wrap that up with a movie recommendation and a book recommendation. Today in class, we just finished a novel, Winesburg, Ohio. It's really influential on Steinbeck, Hemingway, Faulkner. It's a collection of little vignettes about a small town. It's about a 10-page story for each character, sometimes 20. Really communicates the feeling of living in a small town and just how everybody has a deep philosophical story behind what they're doing, even if maybe they don't see it. I asked the old AI what was the best movie to watch with that, and it recommended A River Runs Through It. About an hour and a half through the film, I would have given it a 7. By the end, a 9.5. I cried in front of the whole class, and I'm not even embarrassed. It was just, if you've ever had somebody in your life that had problems with drugs or alcohol, I used to work as a drug and alcohol rehab counselor, and I don't know, it just spoke to my heart because I've seen so many people in a situation that's resolved at the end of the movie. Check it out. 1992, Robert Redford's A River Runs Through It. And evidently, it was also a 200-page novella that he wrote in 1976. But if you watch the movie, he becomes a literature professor at the University of Chicago. It's all a true story. He really was a literature professor at the University of Chicago. Of Mice and Men, we often read in 10th grade. Short kind of Steinbeck novella as well. I've done The Grapes of Wrath a few times. But yeah, I'm excited. I bought a copy of A River Runs Through It. It's starting to rain for real here, so I'm going to tie this all together and put a bow on it. That is my dream for my classroom. If I keep teaching in the same classroom for 30 years, I'm building a wall-length bookshelf, and I'm just going to fill it with all the great novels and books. And my favorite method of teaching, I had another teacher, I was explaining to him, I think I made a video about this, but he was like, what do you do for this class? And I'm like, I just bring up a little bit of news, and then we talk about it as a class. And he was like, oh man, I don't like to talk to him. I just like to give him a worksheet and sit down, do my own thing. And I was like, oh, kind of made me realize in a way there's nothing wrong with that, but I beat up on myself a lot for not being that kind of teacher. I felt like maybe I'm not a real teacher because I just like to have class discussions, but that conversation kind of made me realize, oh, maybe I do have a unique perspective to add. But that's my dream, is just have class discussions, bring up, hey, have you ever heard of a river runs through it, pull it off the shelf? That reminds me of the Hegelian dialectic. You ever read Hegel? Pull Hegel off the shelf? And I'd say, good luck with that. If you understand it, you're smarter than me. But that's the dream. We'll get there eventually. Said my calling card was going to be unlike and unsubscribe. That feels in bad faith. It just feels verbally ironic. I guess that's fun, right? Tim Dillon, if I'm going to be Tim Dillon, I got to commit to the act all the way, but I like to be a little more authentic than that. Not Stephen Colbert level authentic, where you just become the sellout Democrat shill that you are, but I don't know. I will never like telling people to like and subscribe. I don't even like telling people to support the channel. I remember Jordan Sheraton of Status Quo. He begged people for money for a year, and I was like, dude, this is gross. He had a thermometer, and he, what are you doing? Why are you giving me money? And I was like, God almighty, I wish I could take money away from you for this behavior. This is crazy. But yeah, I'm getting wet here. Let's just cut it. We made it. Love you guys. Hope you have a great night. Hope you like the stream a little bit. Look into it. The CIA was set up by lawyers for oil companies. It's a class war, man. It's a class war, and they're just out there. What's that guy's name? Stephen Miller or whatever, just saying, might makes right, and my class is more powerful than yours. So good luck holding on to your stuff. Teddy Roosevelt done put an appendum on the Monroe Doctrine, so we can just yank it all now. I don't think we're living in that world anymore, boys. These are the last gasps of a dying empire, and I'll be glad to see it go. We can build something more beautiful in its place that actually helps everyday Americans. I asked ChatGPT yesterday, how could we give every person in America healthcare, college, housing? It said there's no amount of wealth tax that would pay for this. You would have to nationalize, socialize all wealth, all income over $50 million. 50 million sounds pretty comfy to me. I'd take 50 million. How about you guys? I bet 99.9% of Americans, we'd be fine with a $50 million cap on wealth. But a few people, the people that own this platform, isn't that interesting? The means of production. Old Elon Musk buying X. These people, if they woke up with $50 million, probably jump off a bridge. But hey, that ain't my problem. Love you guys. See you later. Jesus loves you. Peace out. Take care. See you tomorrow. That's like my fourth goodbye. That's how it's always going to go. Let's go eat